guys. So I just added, I gave my uncle some money to hold on
In
to
2 miles, turn left onto Meridian Road.
As I was handing him that money, a vision came through my mind. Oddly enough, I got a message that I've been watching, that I watch a lot of messages that I get that are, I know the messages are sent directly to me, and I know they're for me. And so I watch the videos, because the video that comes across always has something to do with what I'm going through. One of the videos that I saw showed that I would be reminded, I will have a time, this week, I'll be reminded of a time that will have been a trigger. And it's going to trigger some memories. When I was handing Joe the money that I gave him to hold on to so I could pay my taxes, I had a vision. The vision I had is, first off, I want to say thank you. Thank you, Joe. You are my mom's husband. You are my father's uncle. This is fact. The fact that you are, I cannot change or have anything to do with part of that. It is not my decision. I am not the adult. I was not the adult in the situation. I was not the parent. I was not the guardian. I was not responsible for you or my father or my mother's decisions. What I was responsible for was nothing, right? But I'm going to tell you right now, as an adult, I'm responsible for my healing. I'm responsible for my children.
Turn left onto Meridian Road.
For what they see and what they hear. I'm responsible for the messages they receive. Those are my children. Okay? I'm going to tell you, first and foremost, you asked me a question when I was staying with you. Why would you want to bring up the past? Okay, well, the past is here. It hasn't left.
In 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto Muir Avenue.
The past must be dealt with before it can leave. Okay? So let me tell you what a part in my life when I want to say thank you to you. Even though you didn't know what was going on, you didn't know why I was doing what I was doing. I'm going to tell you why I did what I did when I was that kid. I want you to think back to a time when we were swimming in a pool. I believe it was Everett's pool. I believe it was. And we were all swimming around as a family. And something happened. I don't know exactly what it was that took place, but I remember you
turn left onto Muir Avenue.
Putting your hands on me when I was freaking out. I think I was afraid of something. Something happened. Something triggered me to become afraid, and my response was to
in
start
1.2 miles, turn left onto West East Avenue.
I remember you trying to console me in a way that, as an adult would do of a child that's freaking out in the water. I remember you putting your hands on me, and I remember cocking back and getting ready to punch you. I remember it. And I remember you saying no and not grabbing me, but, like letting me know, hey, I'm not here to hurt you. I remember that. Do you remember it? Because I do. This was a child terrified, just trying to survive a world that she didn't understand. This was a child who was terrified of men.
At the next light, turn left.
This was a child that was terrified of everything around her, because every man around her had hurt her. If it wasn't physically, it was mentally. If it wasn't mentally, it was emotionally. If it wasn't emotionally, it was psychologically. Every man around her had hurt her, but you.
At the light, turn left onto West East Avenue.
Which is why when you grabbed me that day and I swung back to hit you, I didn't hit you. And I remember telling you that I was sorry, that I didn't mean to freak out on you, that it wasn't your fault, that I didn't know what was wrong. I knew what was wrong. Today I do. I didn't then. I only knew that I was about to hit the man who had really helped me to understand that I was important, even when I wasn't. The man who stepped into shoes, and we had this conversation, you and I had this conversation in that car that day outside of your house, where my mother...
In 1.5 miles, turn turn left onto Esplanade.
didn't want us to have that conversation. You asked me when I was staying with you, why would you want to hurt your mother? Let me tell you something about this, okay? My mother's a liar. And liars to me don't prosper at all. The lies that have been told to my children, the lies that have been told about my life, about who I am, about what happened with me, about the exact facts of the situation, they're lies. Was I a part of being molested by her brother? Yes, I was. And the reason why I was is because upon me telling Larry if he put his hands on me again, I would tell my mother or father, he decided to tell me how sorry he was. He would never do it again. This was after the first time he touched me. He decided...
In 1 mile, turn left onto Esplanade.
He decided that, I remember sitting in the truck with him and telling him that I was going to tell my parents. And he said, please don't, I will never do it again. I didn't mean to, blah, 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 right? And I told him, don't touch me again. And I meant it. So did he. You know what he did? As a result of that, he showed up at our house about a week after, talking about needing somebody to help him do paperwork for his job. So did I go voluntarily for this man to touch me? You bet your ass I did. Because when he showed up asking for help, it was my little brother he wanted. And he wanted to take my little brother and hang out with him. It wasn't happening. Not on my watch anyway, and I was too big, too small to be on that watch. But I wasn't about to let it happen. And I knew going to my parents and telling them anything would do no good, because obviously the past was a reflection of why I didn't talk about the past.
Go past this light.
Why?
Then at the next one, turn left.
Why I never talked about the things that hurt or told anybody anything, because what good would it have done me, right? What good it would have done for me to scream, yell, or anything else? Nobody was going to listen.
At the light, turn left onto Esplanade.
And you know what would have happened?
Then the destination is on your left.
Let me tell you what would have happened. What would have happened is exactly what happened when I was 14 years old. When I was thrown out of my house and pushed aside and sent off because I was the problem. And if you want to know what happened in that moment, ask my mother, because she's already admitted it to a counselor. So therefore, you will have clarification that this all really did happen. This was a result of speaking up.
Turn left onto Connors Avenue.
Yes, out of anger. Yes, I was upset and I was hurt. I had just been raped the few days before my father.
Turn left onto
grabbed
White Avenue.
My hair. I had just dealt with some serious harm to walk into another war. And I was not about to go down
In
that
3/4 of a mile, make a U-turn at East 9th Avenue.
This is where I literally screamed. You want to know who the horror is? And yes, Joe, I called my mother that. This was after her putting her hands on me, getting on top of me and punching me over and over and over until I pushed her off me and threw her off of me. This was after. And after she did this, she went into the bedroom and grabbed a gun and put it to her head. This was after. Okay? So when I tell you that something happened and how it happened, that's how it happened. My mother didn't have a job in San Bernardino. My mother wasn't at work. And I don't lie. Do I love my mother? Dearly. Do I wish that she would see that I was just a little girl? Her little girl? I really do. But will I spend the rest of my life hiding behind a mask that you guys all want me to wear because the family is so dysfunctional that nobody wants to get to the real truth? I won't. Because this costed me my family. And I'll protect my children to my death, fighting anybody that's in my way. You want to tell my children lies about me or fabricate stories about me? Enjoy it. When you guys all want to talk about the truth, we can do that. But I don't lie, Joe. And I give
At the
responsibility.
next light, make a U-turn.
I give credit to whoever credit's due to. And I owe you credit. You didn't touch me when I was going to punch you. And I remember in the swim pool getting ready to punch you. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Because you never hurt me. Physically, you never touched me. Sexually, you never touched me. Emotionally, you never touched me. Psychologically, you had no clue you were. However, that's why I forgive you. That's why I still love you, just the same as I always have. Because you've always
At the light, make a U-turn.
You've always been that one man that I did trust. Because I knew who you were. And the stories that go around, I don't listen. When I hear things said, I don't listen. When I see responses to things that are going on, I don't listen anymore.
At the light, turn right onto Mangrove Avenue.
Because I
Then
remember.
turn right onto East 9th
remember it all.
Avenue.
And so there's nobody in this world that's going to tell me how, why, or when somebody did anything at all. Because I know it all. And when I say that I have been given the grace from God to see through the blinders that I never saw, I have.
At the light, turn right onto East 9th Avenue.
And I just want you to know, you are that one man, that if I ever trusted anybody, it was you. With that, I hope you have a good day, and I'm not trying to start the problems, just trying to set the record straight. And I love my mother very much.